hello.
Hello.
Wow, that was a gasp if I would have known.
It's fine. It's just because I'm
It's
ugly.
fine. Yeah, it is. And welcome! This is episode 54 of the NgoVo Convo podcast, where two stupids make a right. And hype.
I'm still hurt by that.
I just glossed over that. It's fine.
It's hype. It's hype.
I'm one of your hosts, NgoVo, and I'm joined by Harrison. No, he's right over there. He's a little butthurt today.
Just a little.
If you're
True.
new here, we both just want an excuse to talk about anything that ranges from anime to comics, because some would say it's conversing. You know, NgoVo Convo.
NgoVo Convo.
You
You
can
don't know how to spell our last names?
Yeah. It's short and sweet.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. You can watch every episode on youtube.com or listen to it as a podcast by searching NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. We are on 10 different platforms. We're everywhere. Just search it up. We'll be there. If we're not, you let us know.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm lost. Find me.
Same. But in this episode, we are going to be talking about Young Justice Season 2. Because we already talked about Season 1.
You haven't seen it.
If you haven't
It's
seen
episode... I don't remember.
50.
Really. It's early on.
It was
50?
episode 50. Yeah.
Oh,
Now
nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
So, just a couple
Proud of you.
episodes back. So, you haven't finished Season 2. Go ahead, take a pause. Go on HBO Max. Mooch off someone, like Harrison does.
Yep.
Binge watch it. I think there's
Yep.
about 26 episodes.
For episode or season 2?
2?
20 episodes.
Or 20 episodes. Okay.
I would know.
You would know. We'll get
I
into that in a
finished it.
little bit.
Yeah.
Please come back to us in a day or two after you've finished that. Basically a weekend. Just take a weekend.
Can't
Finish
confirm.
it.
It's doable.
Yeah, doable. And by the way, we are sponsored by Anchor, which we'll get into later in the episode. But, fun fact, did you know that Season 2 of Young Justice aired between April 28th, 2012 through March 16th, 2013? So that's about a decade ago.
I forgot. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so about a
my
decade ago
goodness.
when it first started.
Me
Yeah.
looking at the clock. Dang.
But Harrison, I know you watched this once before.
I
was
did. Around that time frame.
Around that time
Around that
frame.
time frame.
And I know you rewatched it like last weekend or the weekend before.
Last weekend.
Last weekend, yeah. Okay.
Of
that's
recording. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Well, yeah.
what are your thoughts, like a then and now thoughts? What did you think about then? What do you think about it now?
I was okay. So when I rewatched it, you can do it in a weekend most likely because I did it in one. I've watched 10 episodes one weekend. I watched the other 10 this past weekend. Not because of a timetable. What are you talking about? But in all honesty, I was worried. I was worried about not being able to finish, but I think watching it again, the show still holds up because I think when I watched it before, it was on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It was on Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah, it was on Cartoon Network. Yep.
Okay.
And this was actually this season was actually the season that was still on Cartoon Network before they canceled it.
Mm-hmm.
And
This was the canceled season.
Or they just canceled afterwards. They finished the season,
Mm-hmm.
left on a cliffhanger, but then they just canceled it. Like that was it.
Wow.
They cut it. They cut
Oh,
it.
wow.
Not canceled,
Oh,
but they cut it.
I
at
didn't know
point.
that.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
why it's such a huge gap from then because for the longest time people were wanting this to come back. And
Season 3 didn't come back till 2019.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Like 6 years later? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost that Attack on Titan gap. Except Attack on Titan, we just wasn't sure if they were going to continue. While this one, we thought it was just done.
Done.
Like, viewers, like including myself, like me and my brother, were like devastated one day. We're like, this is done. Like no season 3. I was like, what? They literally just had a cliffhanger, and it was like it was like alluding to so much things. I was like, this sucks. No. So looking back, I remember watching it. I remember having fun. Like it was like a lot of it felt darker. It felt like it was more of what season 1 was, but like, you know, generation, like they time passed, there was a time skip and everything. I think the plot was still engaging. Like I still had fun watching it. This was like me like not remembering too much. And I apologize for season 1. I may have spoiled
I think you.
I low-key spoiled episode 2 of this of
Oh,
season
you
2
did, didn't
because
you?
I thought at the end, this is my own fault. I for some reason kept thinking at the end of season 1 was when they had to go leave for the trial.
No, that
Which
that
they
was
did
like
not.
the
They
beginning
did
of
not.
this season.
That was the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
So they, oops, my bad. I messed up because they left for
Memory.
the trial at season 2 or episode 2 or 3 of this season.
Yeah, beginning.
Yeah, no, and it was really dope. And again, I think overall, I still recommend this, like, because it still holds up. I think the plot's still really good. There's a lot of things, like, you think there's a lot of, like, drama, but it's good. Like,
There's a lot of like moving parts in this season.
moving parts, and it ties
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to reread the comics. It's just really hard to go into that because I kind of want to reread each, like, or just go back and read, like, certain stories for certain characters,
Mm-hmm.
because we'll probably go into deeper detail in this one. How origins are made in this in the show versus how it is in the comics. And this is why I don't remember it. If I did my research legitimately, I'd probably be able to pull this, but I did not. I spent more time rewatching the show.
We're watching this show.
No, but I think the biggest thing is it's still good to watch because I still got hooked and I ended up getting rehooked and kept binge watching it hard. Like,
Oh yeah. At one point you were like chatting me. You're like, "I'm almost done," and I was like, "What? You just watched like you were just halfway through the season like earlier."
like literally earlier this week, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I think I finished it like that Friday or Thursday
or like
night at
Thursday
like
night.
2
yeah.
a.m. again.
I know you. He was like
I-
Snapchatting me. He was like, "Almost done."
All right, I think I Snapchatted. Oh, look, season 3.
Yeah.
Oops.
And you said you wouldn't get addicted to it again.
Again, I was worried. Or I was like, oh, I've already
Or
seen
you
it.
were, yeah.
I was like, I've
Yeah.
already seen it. I probably will be like, oh, this is fine. I was also worried of like nostalgia bait of like, oh, I remember watching it back then. It was good.
Yeah.
But no, rewatching it again, I was like, nope, this is still good. I love it.
Okay. So it still
Continuity's
holds up after 10 years.
Still holds up in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
Continuity is great.
Good to know.
What about you?
Well, it's my first time watching this.
Exactly.
So I've seen it at like random episodes on TV, but not like I didn't know like the plot story or like who was like doing what.
Yep.
But like watching through it, yeah, it's really enjoyable. The animation is still really good. The plot lines are really good. There's more people like added to the story and more characters like to the team and stuff.
Continuity.
Yeah, continuity.
Done right. DC.
Mm.
DCEU. I'm just saying.
DCEU, yeah. So there was a lot more continuity. There was like a time skip, so that was nice. Like we didn't have to like, go through.
We got
next-
yeah. You get like
know.
you get the characters that you want, and we'll talk more about that.
Yeah. No, but I thought it was really good. Yeah, I got very emotional. It was just an emotional roller coaster for me. I felt it at the end. I was like, you know what,
It got darker.
we're going through this together.
And I think it gets darker. It's a fun watch because there's the characters that are introduced, but they still build on the previous characters that you got to go along with from the first season.
Yeah, and the storyline continues because as Harrison has spoiled the trial, but it's fine. You got the gif. Gist. Oh my god. I was like, GIF?
Well, I was like, okay, which team are you, GIF or GIF?
It could be either now.
But no, yeah, and and when you say emotional,
yes,
that even though I knew, again, this is me watching it, I knew.
You knew it was gonna happen, right? You knew it was coming.
But I still like, I was like, oh, this still sucks. This still sucks like a decade later.
I know.
Man.
But yeah, before we get into spoilers, though, we are going to take a quick break to talk about our sponsors. On today's episode, we are sponsored by Anchor. It is a free podcast hosting service that we actually use. We've been using Anchor since we've started the podcast. It's because there are creation tools that allow us to record and edit the podcast right from our phones and computers. A huge plus for us is that Anchor would distribute our podcast to all platforms such as Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, and many more. It really is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one spot. Please download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, anchor.fm to get started. Oh my gosh, what a quick break. And we're back.
What?
Hello. That was a quick water break. Hope you went to the restroom.
Got your
Drank
snacks.
some water. Got some
your
snacks.
drinks.
But we warned you. We're going to get into spoilers. I'm not going to count down with my fingers because I've learned my lesson.
It's fine. We don't joke that here. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
It's fine. Totally fine. But yeah, we're going to get into spoilers right now. Harrison, let's talk about Nightwing and his man titties.
Dude, I forgot. Yes. Dude, I forgot Jesse McCartney voiced him, like, for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His voice versus him singing is so different that I didn't recognize it was him either.
I also forgot he does voice stuff, like, just period.
Yeah, he does. Because he hasn't dropped an album in a while, so I think he's been voice acting.
I think he's just straight up in voice acting, I feel like. And it's great. It's so funny because, like, I think his biggest role is Kingdom Hearts, actually, for Roxas.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, that's like his big thing. I mean, he also did, or I guess he did Alvin and the Chipmunks. He was Theodore.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But that makes sense. He did he's done a lot of animated stuff. But his big thing for voice acting, at least, has been Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Good to know.
But for at least DC, he just does Nightwing for Young Justice.
I love Nightwing. I know you love Nightwing, but I wonder why we love Nightwing.
Dude, see, and that's why I think this is the nice part with Young Justice is, like, this felt like a legitimate continuation. It wasn't just like we all love Teen Titans, and when this show came out, everyone's like, oh, is this gonna be like more like Teen Titans? I'm like, not exactly. Thinking back now, but
yeah,
it's more it felt more comic booky in that, like, it actually pulled in all these other characters. It felt like a universe that was built correctly. Wow. But it's, like, focused on, like, a small team and then all these other characters on the side. That's crazy.
Yeah. Totally crazy. Not like DC has done that yet. I feel like we're just, like, salty at this point.
I am, because honestly, I'm a DC fanboy. So I'm like, yeah, this is just, like, this got me into the mood of, like, watching other stuff, I want to reread certain, like, DC comics again. Yeah. Eventually. Yeah. Post-wedding. When I have time.
Okay, when you have time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we started planning out stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, we could talk about this and this and this. And I was like, we're back into your DC mood.
Yes. For real, though. Man.
Oh yeah, how did you feel about Miss Martian and Superboy breaking up? Was that random to you? That was random, right?
Yeah, it was super random. I mean, it made somewhat sense, because it alluded to, like, I forget. Here's the part. This is when I just always forget this. Did that event that he's talking about happen in season 1? Where he, like, goes into his mind? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
No, I think it was just, like, clipped to where, like, they were on a mission and then she just like overused her power. Like, yeah, she just overpowered someone.
It makes so much sense, and this is why I'm like, oh, this is, like, building on what kind of character they are, because it's true. Superboy has always been, like, a test tube baby, essentially. Yeah, he was built. He was genetically created and everything. So to him, that's all he's ever known. And then, like, all the I forgot what they're called. The aliens from season 1, they would always talk to him telepathically. So yeah, for her doing, like, invading his mind like that, it just brings back. And I was like, damn, that's so cool. Mm-hmm. As in, like, it's cool to know, like, they continue and there's character growth, but it's still, like, it's a part of their personality and their backstory still incorporated.
Yeah, but I was really sad about that.
But it was also, like, weird.
Yeah, because they were, like, so lovey-dovey at the end of season 1, and then you get here and it's 5 years later and they've just, like, broken up.
This is where I think the writing's pretty good in that it keeps you engaged because you're wondering what happens throughout. Yeah. Because not only was there a time skip, but it's not just, like, people grew up, but things happened, and you're like, oh, I'm trying to catch, like, Beast Boy is not, like, it's Garfield.
Justice League is, like, out, like, literally out.
Yeah. So they
Um,
focus on all these characters, right?
Yeah.
On all the side characters too. And it just shows where people are. Like Zatanna's in Justice League, right?
Yep.
And it shows like all these other characters that joined the Justice League.
Oh yeah, Beast Boy. What's his name? Lagan.
Lagan, yeah. He joins they both join Young Justice, but
Yeah.
Lagan, oh, and then questioning like where certain people are. It's such a
Yeah.
good way to like keep you like hooked. And I was like, this is why I enjoyed season 2 a lot. And I
Basically,
think
it
it's
was
just
like
because
there was a mission within the mission, and then like it just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
oh, okay. How'd you feel about that first twist?
Um, Which
With
one?
Artemis.
Artemis. Oh, Artemis like
with
dying.
with that mission.
I was a little scared because Artemis is like one of my favorite female characters.
Hmm.
So I was just like, what are they gonna do? Because she was like developing, like her character development's really good in my opinion,
Yeah.
from like season
Yep.
1 when we first saw her till now. So I was very nervous. I was sweating, and I was like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah, and again, time passed because Wally and Artemis are just going to college.
yeah,
They're just living their
going
own
out.
life.
Yeah,
Like they essentially retired,
yeah,
but that one mission she came back,
yeah.
and
Because of Nightwing. Because Nightwing
'cause of
needed
Nightwing.
something.
Yeah,
No, yeah, I got really scared. And then they kept doing more twists, like how Aqualad is a double agent for, like, basically he's
Yeah,
a double
'cause
agent
one-
for Nightwing.
because one, you think that he like defected from the Young Justice to join his
Yeah,
father.
to
Well,
join
one,
his-
because he found out his father is Black Manta,
Yeah,
and
So
there's
he
so many
joins
things that
that.
happen.
yeah,
And it's just really good because they eventually answer all these questions. But I think it's really nice because it keeps me on edge of like, what's going on? What happened? Is this actually happening? Like,
yeah. It definitely
Yeah.
kept me on my edge. Yeah, it was like all these secret missions, and like Nightwing was basically trying to be Batman, but not in a very good way.
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
he had
that
to
really
be.
cost him, though.
Yep.
Like towards the end of the season, that really cost him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so now we're in season 2. What did you think about the light members? Like they're still like mysterious and like, oh, what's their next step and all this stuff. But what were your thoughts? Since we got a little bit more story
Build up.
build up behind them.
I think it's still good. I thought it was so nice because it wasn't like that. You know how like most cartoons are like certain like shows or stuff that have like that. Here's the big bad, and they're
Yeah.
just always there, but it didn't feel cartoony because it felt like an org. Because it's like, oh, you know these bad guys, but they work together and they do certain things because they operate certain ways.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like I think like or what was his name? Artemis's dad. I forgot that.
Storm.
No, the guy with the mask.
Oh, yeah.
I keep wanting to say Taskmaster. It's not.
It's not. What's his name?
I just literally
As
I
I'm
can't think.
clicking.
He got replaced by Deathstroke.
Yeah,
Deathstroke
yeah.
replaced him.
Oh,
But-
what's his name? Oh god, it's gonna bug me. It's fine.
Hold on. But essentially, like, I just thought like he actually had a position. He was saying like he was like head of like he was like guard. He was essentially the guard,
like,
like the head head of security
or
type
something.
deal, right?
Yeah.
Type like, but they had positions.
Sportsmaster.
Sportsmaster. There we go.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
You
It
said
was such a-
Taskmaster, but I was like, wait, that's not right.
That's not it. It's something master. And I was like,
yeah. Sportsmaster. Okay.
no, but I still like how they continue to use them, and then like, but they showed like how the organization can like fluctuate and like,
Oh yeah.
it's fluid, and like or Sportsmaster gets replaced by Deathstroke, and that's just also so cool. But then like Black Manta took over for Ocean Master.
Yeah.
Like it just shows like it's the organization's still there, but there's
just
the-
newer
the-
people and
the irony's still there because
dynamics.
they're evil. They're like villains, but they're called the Light, and I think that's really cool.
yeah.
I like how they did a switcheroo on like you thought you knew what aliens they teamed up with, but then they got the new partner.
The new
and all
partner.
that stuff. It was always like trying to hook on like what's happening. I think
Yeah.
that's what
Like
the
the
season did a
Reach.
really good job. The Reach, yeah.
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 That was interesting. Oh yeah, but also Lex Luthor is always a pain in the butt. I swear.
What's new though?
I
It's always the
know
case.
because like the real Roy Harper woke up.
Yep.
He
They
woke
found-
up. It's been like what? I think 8 years. They said it took it was 8 years later for him to wake
I
up
think
or something like that.
it was legitimately like 6 years.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 8.
It's 6 to 8 years. Yeah, something
6,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Maybe it's 8. Maybe it's 8.
Yeah, and like basically like Clone Roy was like, "Hey, I've been looking for you, real Roy," and then the
Yeah.
real Roy was like flipping shit and like
He's like, it's like the Clone Roy, actually got character development, but then we get season 1 Roy Harper because he's still like angsty and like angry and all the time.
angry, yeah.
I got chills watching that episode though, because it was like he had no arm.
Yep.
And it reminded me of like, because he's Arsenal, and that becomes Arsenal. I'm like, dang, that's just so cool, because there's Red Arrow, Arsenal, and I just got chills because there's so many clones.
I know. And then Lex Luthor just has to butt in, give him a little
always
arm.
butts in.
He always butts in. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I was like, wow, the real Roy Harper is awake.
Has such a hate boner for
Yeah.
Lex Luthor
For
throughout
Lex
though. He's like,
Luthor.
anything that is associated with Lex Luthor, he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna mess with him. I'm gonna
mess with him.
stay up.
I thought it was funny though. I was like, damn, you got a hate boner for Lex Luthor.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And okay, sorry, can we talk about how they always blow up every big building that they're always in?
Yeah.
Like Mount Justice, that got blown up first, and then the Justice Hall. I was like, how many more things you want to break?
Yeah, I was gonna say looking back, it was a very good way for them to break the status quo too. Like it was like, see, here's all the places that you got accustomed to. We're not afraid to
like
let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels impactful. I was like, there's places that you get tied to, because that was like a bulk of season 1, right? You see all these things, and you're like, oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
But it's like setting. Of course, it's setting up for like how they're gonna work out of the tower.
The tower.
What it's called.
Yeah,
I forgot what it's called all of a sudden. What?
Me too.
Yeah. Can you? Oh, the G Gordon character.
Oh.
Can I just say how timely that felt? Like, this is where I was like, this show came out 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
And it's exactly how it felt in the past couple years. Like, it's just that character, right? It's just like, it just feels like I can. Back when I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, this guy sucks. Like, it's like the J. Jonah Jameson or like any it's like those kind of characters that just go against the heroes. And
you hate to see
but
them.
it felt like I was like, but watching it now just felt more like, it just felt like it was with the times, and it
with more relatable.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just more relatable. I was like, wow, this kind of sucks.
But it's like mirroring what has happened.
But it just mirrors society, because there's always like that kind of situation, right?
Oh yeah.
It's not like saying like they aren't like those kind of like reporters or like journalists or anything like that, but it was just like, it just hit, and I was like, wow. Watching this as I'm an older person, I was like, wow, this really sucks.
This really hits different.
Yeah, it hit different. It did.
How'd you feel about Scarab? Is that how you say his name? The Blue Beetle.
Oh, Blue Beetle?
Yeah. How do you feel about him
so that's,
and his
that's
development?
Why I was like, I thought it was good. I thought it was a nice twist where it's Reach technology.
Yeah.
But it's old Reach. Like, the thing is that, the Reach, that was a good, like...
That was a good mini arc.
Yeah.
That was a good little mini arc.
Just, like, having to deal with them is, like, them turning the league or turning the world against the league and all that stuff, making people, like, second guess like aliens and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they made drinks too. Like, hey, this is like a good drink to have. Like,
yeah.
But
no, I thought Blue Beetle's like whole arc in this season was really good.
It was really good. It was nice to see from like start to finish, like how he is without like the superpower, and then like you can hear like the thoughts in his head is just like, oh, this is what you're really thinking.
They kept the amount of twists in this show, like watching it fully through, because I remember it hit harder when I had to watch it weekly, but watching it through, it still hit, because it's like, this is me not remembering because it's been so long, but I was like watching it, I forgot like the green beetle was technically evil, But I forgot that because I was like, oh yeah, that's Blue Beetle and he's gonna have a mentor. That's cool because the Black Beetle was evil. Blah blah blah. And it's like, oh wait, the
they
twist
controlled
was
his
they
like
all
meat
got
or
controlled.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all got reset and they all got controlled at that point.
Yeah.
The meat.
The meat.
That was weird.
I know, right? And then they introduced like normal kids. I think they were called like runaway kids or something. They were basically the experimented like kids that got kidnapped from the Reach.
Yeah.
They were like experimented on. And then
I forget.
they had their whole like little, I think there was like 4 or 5 kids. And they had their whole like runaway. They were like running away from the facility and then trying to get help. And then they like went to rescue people.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Okay. For the longest, because I kept watching it. I was like, why does this sound familiar? Because I was like, are they the Runaways? I was like, no, the Runaways are MC or Marvel, right?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, this is so weird. But it was so cool of them to like bring in like Static Shock. That was like their way to bring in Static. I was like, yes, this is great.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Oh, nut.
Oh, nut. But let's talk about the very emotional part, which is the end.
See, I totally forgot about it, but then I knew it was happening.
I feel like you forgot about it, but then as you were watching the episode, you got that it was gonna happen.
Like I remembered it happening when I first started, and I was like, oh, this is the season that this happens. But then as I watched, I just forgot because Bart just takes over, and you're like, oh, cool, this is great.
Yeah. And
then Wally goes in to help, but they alluded to it at the beginning when Bart got introduced. They already did.
Yeah.
So when he went to go help, I was like, dang. I was like, oh. When I saw, I was like, oh, he's not fast enough.
He's
he's
always the slowest one too.
Yeah, out of the 3, because he's not exactly part of the Barry Allen family. So
yeah,
because he was in this one, it's because he's Iris's brother, right?
Yes,
or cousin.
I don't remember.
I forgot how they do it in this one, and I was like, dang, this is because he was explaining it, and I was like, I don't know first, second cousin, twice. I don't know that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I got really sad because he was like disappearing, and then he goes,
like, oh man, Artemis is gonna kill
me.
I was like, that's your worry. Oh my god, bro.
No. I literally almost started tearing up because I was just like, Wally.
That's why I was like, the way they wrote that is so good though when you really think about it, because the entire time Artemis faked her. They had to fake Artemis's death, so Artemis was dead and Wally was alive. But now when they actually got back together, Wally actually dies, and Artemis was like, oh, we're gonna. I remember watching. I was like, oh, we can determine this when we get back. I was like, you're not gonna get back.
No.
Even when I first watched it, I was like, there's something that's gonna happen, and I don't like this.
And you don't like it.
And then I think, yeah.
I can't believe they ended it like that.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, when this season ended, it was like, oh, I wanted more. I wanted season 3. But then it got cut.
Yeah, because they changed networks and, like, I guess, yeah. Well, like you said earlier,
it didn't get picked up.
Yeah, it didn't get picked up. I can't now that I think about the ending, how did you survive 6 years?
Dude, I didn't. No, I didn't. Because, I think I got really pissed because I think, someone can correct me on this one, and I may just double check. I think Cartoon Network wanted to pivot, and they cut Young Justice because they wanted to go all in on Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans? Okay.
Like, I think they went in all in on that, but it was ironic because Teen Titans Go wasn't even like the original Teen Titans. So that's why people are like, this sucks. We want a more serious show, and that's more comic and it's just like, they wanted to hit a different demographic, and I was like, obviously Young Justice was not hitting the right people because it was darker. It was like more for like young adults and stuff. And like it was definitely like, I was starting college when I first watched it.
Yeah.
I think it was like
we were in college.
Yeah, no, we were in college. Yeah. 2012. Well, Young Justice started when we started college. Yeah, that's right. That's dating us, but
let's not date us that far back.
Yeah, but no, yeah, that's why when it got, I was like so sad. So then once it came back, or once Young Justice season 3 got announced, I was just ecstatic because I was like, yes, give me more of this because this is what I actually wanted.
6 years later.
6 years later, it's fine.
It's fine. But Harrison, do you have anything else to add? Any other closing thoughts?
there's some. I think overall, how the season was built, based like on top of season 1. I think this season was, for me at the time, I loved it more than season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen half of season 3. I need to rewatch it, podcast. But I thought how they wrote everything, the writing, how they like the pacing and everything was just really good, and I think that's why it still holds up now.
Oh yeah,
because the story still is phenomenal at the end of the day.
Oh no, totally. It has not outdated itself. Like I binge watch it like.
The only dated feeling was, you mentioned the animation was good, and it was good.
It was
there
good.
There was moments when I was like, this looks kind of off. I think they were showing Wonder Woman and someone else.
Oh yeah,
like,
in space or whatever.
In space, yeah. Or like the way they were drawn, I was like, this does look a little weird. But it's fine, because then
animation's still good. Still hooks you.
No, yeah. It still looks like, because I think the DC animated universe built on top of this style, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen all the movies?
No, all the movies. Yeah.
Built on top of this style, so we still got Young Justice, but not Young Justice.
Oh yeah.
But now we get more.
We'll talk about season 3 and 4 later. Down the line.
Don't
Give us your predictions. What do you think's gonna happen?
If you haven't seen it, just watch it. Just go watch it. You'll binge it. Trust me. If you feel like season 1's slow, it's fine, because season 2's like.
Season 2's like quick pace. Like it's nonstop.
If you still want to watch it after a spoiler, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. we talk about like all the spoiler thoughts.
All this, yeah, and it's like, you should watch it. I'm like,
just watch it.
Even then, no, even for me, I'm like, I watched it, and even then, I'd rewatch it again. This is one of those shows. I'm not a person that rewatches things. I'd rewatch it.
Oh no, I totally rewatch this. Yeah. Like certain parts. No, I agree.
Yeah. But that's all.
Yeah. We don't have anything else. I don't have anything else. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon at NgoVo Convo, NgoVo Convo. If you don't know how to spell our last 2 names. Short and sweet. Simple.
Short and sweet.
If you're on YouTube, don't forget. I messed up. Don't forget to hit that like button and the notification bell to get updates for when we upload, and subscribe. It's a big red button below me, down here. Let us know how we're doing. What do you want to see next? Do you like our formatting? Do you want us to do more, less, maybe more?
Obviously more.
Just let us know, because we're always up for experimenting and reformatting.
Siren, that's my end.
Let us know if we should read more.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.